On December 29th, 1845, Texas becomes a U.S. state. Texas's history is totally unique, and no Texan would ever let you forget that. The road to statehood begins in 1820, when Moses Austin meets with Spanish authorities in San Antonio seeking a land grant. He is initially turned down, but is eventually given permission to settle 300 Anglo-American families on 200,000 acres of land. Austin, however, becomes ill and dies before he can make his dream a reality. But his son Stephen F. Austin continues the arrangements, and the settlers begin arriving in 1821. Around the same time, Mexico gains independence from Spain, passing control of Texas to Mexico. By the 1830s, relations between the Texas settlers and the Mexican government begin to deteriorate considerably. In 1835, war breaks out. In February 1836, the famous Battle of the Alamo begins. On March 2nd, Texas declares independence from Mexico. The decisive Battle of San Jacinto in April ends the Texas Revolution, as General Sam Houston defeats Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. And so, Texas, for the next 9 years, is an independent republic, with Sam Houston serving as the new nation's first president. John Tyler becomes U.S. president in 1841, and he starts the push to annex Texas. But there's a big sticking point, the same sticking point for basically everything at this time in U.S. history, and that is slavery. When James Polk is elected U.S. president in 1844, the push for Texas annexation is renewed. In fact, outgoing President Tyler tries unsuccessfully to annex Texas during the lame duck period before he leaves office. When Polk assumes office in March 1845, he sends a message to Texas with an offer to join the Union. Anson Jones, the president of Texas at the time, calls for a convention in Austin on July 4th, with delegates from across the republic giving near unanimous assent to annexation. Texas voters approve the convention's resolution, and Texas is officially welcomed into the United States on December 29th. Mexico, naturally, isn't happy, and 4 months later, the Mexican-American War begins. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1170, Archbishop Thomas Becket is murdered in Canterbury Cathedral by Henry II's knights. In 1778, during the American Revolutionary War, British forces capture Savannah, Georgia. In 1812, the USS Constitution captures the British warship HMS Java off the coast of Brazil. In 1890, U.S. cavalry troops kill 146 Lakota Indians at Wounded Knee in South Dakota. In 1940, London suffers its most devastating air raid of the Blitz when the Germans firebomb the city. In 1978, 3 years after the death of the dictator Franco, a new Spanish constitution goes into effect. In 2022, Brazilian soccer legend Pelé, one of the greatest players in history, dies at age 82. And now, it's time for our Today in History quiz. Where did the deadliest theater fire in U.S. history occur? Chicago, New York City, Philadelphia, or Boston? Think you know the answer? Drop your guesses in the comments below. Find out if you're right tomorrow on Today in History.